So going to be excited
Ooh.
to see how she's able to perform with that.
We're sorry about that, folks. We were muted.
That entire time?
Yeah, I'm
Oops.
sorry. That's on me. As a real quick intro, I'm your host, IKMA. I'm here with my co-host.
Speedy Kill Ninja.
And just as a quick run through what we were talking about is that Bethel, pretty evenly matched team. Strongest parts are their bot lane. So obviously Valpo has to now decide in their draft whether they want to play to neutralize their lane, if they want to play for the win con, see kind of what they're going to draft out. And you're seeing they already threw two bans towards bot side. This is week 2 of NECC, right? So obviously pretty early on, but we were mentioning that, hey, if Valpo can take a win here, it would be a great boost to their bot lane. Man, that sucks. The one time we get the pregame segment going off, I forgot to unmute us. I'm sorry about that, folks. That's my bad. Um, I could have sworn I pressed it, but oopsies. But no, I mean hopping into BU's draft, uh, pretty evenly split across the board, right? Obviously, ban the Karma Flex, Jakimbo likes to play. Ban the Syndra, which I think is just a pick that, although Jakimbo hasn't played it much recently, Bethel
Uh,
definitely got a
I
good taste of it last
I
season.
bet I bet they did in the fall for sure.
Yeah. No, Jakimbo kind of would smurf on Syndra, so it makes sense to just get it out, make sure that he can't pick it. So I'm excited to see what his draft pool is. Obviously, I've talked to him behind the sidelines, but we are not on delay, so I'm not going to say anything yet. But no, Falpo going with the first pick, Viego, because BU does flex the Poppy here, right? Obviously, you can play it top jungle, sometimes support, but it's very situational. So picking up the Viego immediately, kind
Yeah.
of a kind of a comfort pick here. I mean, Speedy, you're kind of the jungle player here. What do you think about this matchup?
So we saw. I'm gonna assume this is Chance Super Bear on
Yes,
Viego
yes.
here. So we saw it
Super
on
Bear is here.
Saturday. Showed some flashes. So showed some potential against some Master Plus players. And he's
Ooh.
been going back into that a lot. So I really like the pick. Has a lot of pop off potential. And gonna be curious to see where his jungle pathing is, his routing. Keeping in mind that Bethel's bot lane is typically what they play around. That's their win con. If they're gonna win this game, it's most likely gonna be through their bot lane. But like you said earlier, Valpo's bot lane is no slouch. I mean, we got Dreadful, and then there's a Steamroller down there
Yep.
today. Okay,
We
I've
got
been rotating
Steamroller
through
back.
a couple players, but I think this is like our main lineup
Mm-hmm.
today. And then yeah, we got the
Okay.
Orn going in the top lane.
Wow. All right. So you take the Poppy Flex and Valpo immediately R1, R2s wherever Poppy could go. And BU obviously deciding definitely want to take the Sejuani into that, rather put the Poppy towards top side to stop Orn Dash, which is a little bit rough. I'm wondering if Valpo just wanted to prioritize a pick there with the Orn, because I actually do like Poppy into Orn. And then BU taking Jinx makes sense. Valpo definitely, if you're looking to neutralize a lane, right? Best thing Bethel can do is just to pick a scaler, right? Neutralizing lanes will always win for you in that case. So picking up the Jinx fallen off a little bit since last patch, but definitely still not a joke. Way better than she was like 3 patches ago. And I think it's actually really strong. But Valpo pulling out the
Wow,
Twitch. There we go. Okay,
it's
I
the
do
first
know.
first time Twitch here.
Yep. So I do know Dreadful has been looking to play this Twitch a lot. He's been giving us like the elevator pitch every practice we've had about wanting to play this Twitch, looking for the opportunity, and I actually really like this pick. I think that if we're going to play if we're going to play into a hyperscaler, we have to make them feel uneasy, right? You can't let them at least be safe in the lane, know where everyone is, and although you have the Rakan banned, because the funny thing is you just E to invisible Twitch and get an early engage, but although you do have the Rakan banned, I think Twitch is a great pickup here, but both teams leaving the support to counter pick. Um, I like it. I know that the support on the side of Bethel did like to play that Pike, so Vapo's just gonna get rid of it. And then BU also getting rid of the Way. Probably gonna send another ban mid lane. I think the support pool is a little bit too open right now for Steamroller to try and ban out, unless you're looking to ban maybe a Braum or a Bard. Yeah, there's the Bard. Um, Steamroller definitely one of the more comfort picks there, and has a lot of impact on the map. But right now, Valpo's put in the position where you either blind pick mid here or blind pick support, and I think with you already know that you're facing the Jinx and you know that you have a Twitch, I think you should blind support here.
Yeah, I'm
I
on team counterpick mid here for
Yeah.
sure. I want Jimbo game one to be comfortable, matchup that he feels good about.
Yep.
And there's a
Okay.
oh wow,
uh, Honestly, it's okay. I think Talia's strong enough this patch. She's
yeah.
actually insanely good. That if you're going to blind her, that's fine. Especially because you have the Poppy dash, you have Sejuani dash, and it does close off a lot of options, especially after banning that Silas. So
Yeah,
love to see it.
counterpoint, if you got a champion available that you feel comfortable blind picking, I mean, go for it. So
Yep.
in the Talia, we've seen a lot over the course of the
Ooh.
year into Nico.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that mid lane matchup?
Might be a little bit rough for Talia. I think the Talia will still win this matchup because of how strong she is in patch. She just got a buff that makes her like insane. She's crazy right now. But I think just pure stat wise, Talia could win. But if they were even footing, Nico does have the advantage here. I think you just have better shutdown in team fights. You have an easier pick, and yeah, there's the Braum. Especially into Alistar Jinx. Alistar definitely playing the protect role, so got to pick up the Braum at least for counter engage. Really nice, especially because Alistar is way better at starting fights. So you kind of want to just shut down anything that they can start. You have the Alistar Nico, Sejuani. You have a lot of start to their fight, but BU has to be careful that they have enough damage for it.
Yeah, they're definitely lacking in the damage department. When I saw that Nico Alistair, that was the very first thing I was thinking. I mean, they have the Jinx for the DPS, but other than that, Nico's got some burst potential, decent team fight with her ult, but yeah, have a solid team fight late game, but they're going to be lacking in the damage department, especially with the solid front line from Valpo's side.
Mhm.
The one thing I really like about the Talia pick from Jimbo is, on his Oriana Syndra, sometimes he sits back under his turret, farms up, waits till late game, and the game has kind of went one way or the other without him really having a true impact on it until 20 minutes. With his Talia, that is not the case. Once he hits level 6, he's around the map, making an impact immediately. I'm expecting to see a lot of ults in that bot lane. Grub fights, dragon fights. So he's going to be moving around the map a lot, pushing that wave and getting out onto the rift.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree with you. It's just a lot more of an aggressive pick here, and especially because I think with this matchup into Nico, it forces you to play aggressively. If you're not matching Nico, or at least not beating her to roam, she's always going to have that first fight opportunity, and it's really rough. But Valpo definitely has the advantage with their draft on fights pre 20 minutes. Um, I really don't think BU has enough damage with only Nico because Jinx kind of just tickles unless you get like a shutdown or you get some kind of reset on her passive. Uh, so it becomes a little bit rough for team fighting that. But otherwise, I think we're in for a good fight. A couple of new picks on the side of Valpo. We haven't seen the Talia in NECC yet. This is Jakimbo's first pick outside of scrims of Talia, and we've never seen Dreadful's Twitch. So,
Yeah, I didn't even know he had a Twitch. I was pretty
hmm
surprised when I saw the hover.
no,
Um,
definitely. Um, with just like swapping over to the Twitch, I'm excited to see how they want to play this early game. Being honest, I think the early game is going to be the part that they can really kind of peel away. At least I'd say at the teams is you take the early like cheese, right? You can go invisible. You have Braum level 1 as well. And although you're fighting into Alistar, uh Alistar kind of needs that level 2, so I think you do win this level 1.
yeah, there's even options to look mid with Twitch. That's why I do in solo queue with Twitch support.
Dude, I'm sorry. Twitch support is actual like it's
It's
so bad. It
toxic.
feels so bad, dude. If I have a Twitch support in my game and he starts roaming mid, honestly, I just mute all.
Yeah.
I don't
The
even want to hear it.
speaking of Roman though, they banned out the Bard. I actually like the Braum with the Twitch better than the Bard just because Bard's going to be roaming around and Eamon does a really good job of having map presence, but I feel like Twitch is an ADC where you really want to have your support in your back pocket when you need them. And Braum with his shield, with his front line, able to be there when Alistair has a really strong engage. So
Yep,
I feel like having someone that's in lane a little more. Braum still has potential to roam mid if he wants to too. Recall it for grubs when that spawns in 5 minutes. Um,
I agree with you. I think the Braum is just really strong for playing in that lane, especially because like you talked about, not only is Alistar's engage really strong, but his dive is really strong. So it's not
Yeah.
guaranteed that Jacob's even safe under tower, especially once Alistar hits 6. That damage reduction is insane, being able to tank tower shots like that. So you kind of need someone to secure Twitch's scaling into that mid game.
Yeah, I think team fight wise, Bethel is going to probably be looking to fight this front to back. Where Valpo, I think a strategy you can look for is, if you get a pick on that Jinx, especially the Jinx, but also the Nico, get a knockup with the Talia or Twitch kind of finding the angle would be really huge. Ornn getting CC on them, Braum getting CC on them. Like if you can kill them, then the damage is just not there to sustain a team fight long term.
Yep.
So Jinx has to position herself very careful in late game team fights because although they will have the damage, they will have the front line at that point, 20 minutes plus. Like if she's out of position, then they kind of just lose the team fight automatically.
Yep. But no, we'll have to see how this goes down. We got 2 minutes on spectator delay. We're going to take a quick break in the booth, and we will catch you guys at the start to check out the runes, check out the summoner spells, and see how we play this early game. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen and MBs, for the start of our Week 2 Game 1 against Bethel here. Let's take a look at the summoner spells, take a look at the runes, see what's going on here, and kind of just check out really what we're looking for. Not exactly anything out of the ordinary, I'd say. Uh, Only thing that kind of has a little bit of a change is that you're taking the PTA on Twitch instead of the lethal tempo. So obviously you're looking to fight first. Um, and then you have the area as well on Jakimbo, which I like. I know that Talia has kind of run a lot of spell books, a lot of runes, I'd say, because like you could run the Unsealed spellbook, you could run the Electrocute, you could run even Arcane Comet, and then First Strike as well. But with the base damage like buffs to her Q and then the cooldown to her E, I think it's just much better to spam out a little bit. Justin playing no games, just immediately gonna Q, try to proc, get some damage off.
Yeah, and like you talked about, not sure if it was before or after we're muted, but we got the Twitch Braum looking for early level 1 here. You got Braum passive with the stun, and Twitch going invis gets that attack speed boost.
Yep.
I like that play.
No, definitely. And you're seeing
See
they're
what
already
happens with
sitting
it.
up in bush. They're just waiting for it. I really like this call, honestly. I really think it's a great call here to just check out this bush because you're going to see Wave's going to push in here. And they're going to have first prior. Although Alistar's trying to clear for it, I don't think they're ready for it. There's the sneak. Dreadful trying to get around to the back. There's Steamroller immediately going to auto back. Trying to take a couple of trades. Almost get the stun proc off on Alistar. Any health damage chip that you can do to Alistar, I think right now is great because Jinx is going to have to play behind him.
Yeah, a little anticlimactic, but we won the trade and it went well. So
Yep. No, so now you just gotta fight for level 2. I think if you lose level 2 here, it might get a little bit rough because you're seeing Jinx is just using the range to try and take a couple of chips. And we're seeing an early level 2 as well from Anaya in this top side, trying to take the chop, trying to get that brittle grass proc off. Not gonna be able to hit it, but still got a little bit of damage. Buckler gonna return the trade.
did sacrifice a little bit of CS there in that trade, but I think it would be worth it for them.
Oh yeah. No, now, I mean, you're seeing kind of this weird push and pull that we have across this map where we talked about mid lane and top lane are going to take a ton of prio, but it's this bot side that you really have to watch for. And I'm excited to see how Dreadful's Twitch plays out.
Yeah, and we got both junglers pathing bot. Meanwhile, Alistar is looking for a gank mid. Sejuani's going to be able to peel off Raptors there, so potentially could have 3 mid.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be rough for Jakimbo. Probably going to blow an early flash. There's the hit, but the flick is going to stop the Alistar from flashing.
Oh.
Alistar flashes for it. Not going to be able to W back, and Jakimbo's going to stay alive. Good timing on the flash, but rough early trade there. Going to lose a little bit of prio mid.
Yeah, so Bethel giving up a little bit bot to be able to roam mid. One thing we're going to see here is Valpo now has their flash down mid for the next 5 minutes.
Yep, here comes Jakimbo. There is no E though. The flash in from Sejuani gets the slow. Jakimbo, not enough mana. Still going to have maybe 1 Q left. Not going to be able to hit it. He's going to stay alive. Does have the TP up to get back into this lane. We're seeing
That's what I was going to say is Bethel's jungler is going to be looking for the next 5 minutes. They know they need to shut him down early. But does sacrifice 2 camps as Red Buff and Gromp, so Viego will be able to double scuttle here. Does pop a recall first though.
Yep. I was about to ask, it's like you have Bethel go mid lane twice in that short amount of time. You're gonna have to get something back in the jungle. And we're seeing Chance take a little bit more priority over that. And also this bot lane, full health, being able to trade up a little bit. Still have pots on the side of Jinx, but taking biscuits on Dreadful as well. Making sure you just have that extra sustain in lane. Just looking the brawl. And another great trade from Anaya in the top side. W not popping fast enough. Poppy's going to be really low here, although you are running out of mana on the side of Anaya. Yeah, step on the buckler. There's another shot. Still have enough. There's the dash in. Won't get the full W off. Almost getting that kill. Still had the flash, but I don't think it kills. So overall, good hold and a really great trade.
Valpo got to be careful here. Don't think they have any vision in that bush.
There's the Hex Flash. The W going up the knock up as well. Braum jumps in. Going to block a lot of damage from this Jinx, but that's just a perma stun on Dreadful. Dreadful not going to blow the flash, and that's going to be first. Steamroller stuck in the middle, though. Also gets flashed on as well, and that's a double kill to Jinx early, which is really rough. This Sejuani just having so much prior around the map.
Really would have liked to see, if this kill works successfully, Poppy missed a huge wave. Gets half of it, but...
Yep, here's a dive coming in from the bot lane. Jakimbo is tanking, though. Another knockup. Super Bear is going to be able to get that kill. So you do trade 2 for 1. There's a TP from Nico as well. Jakimbo being pretty low. They're going to just have to disengage this. Nobody else on Bethel is coming to back it up, but they do at least force them off of crashing this wave. Super Bear is going to start Void Grubs here. Looks like Sejuani is going to path up a little bit. I think it's a little bit rough if Nico walks up and takes vision, but yeah, you have to be careful. If Nico spots you, you have to leave. And you still do have flash. Yep, there's Nico. Yep, there's the ult as well. Doesn't get the flash timing off and just goes down there. A little bit of a misplay.
A little greedy there.
Yeah.
And Bethel's going to pick up this last Void Grub, but worst comes to worst, we do get this too. But rewinding back to that bot lane play, we saw, no ward down there, so Sejuani can kind of be able to get up far enough to get the stun on the Twitch, and Alistar was able to flash in to get the Q knockup, and then the Jinx traps caught Twitch there, kind of standing still for 3 seconds because they're stunned, and then Steamroller walked into the Jinx trap like as it was expiring. So double kill going over to Jinx. This is what Bethel needs. Like, if Bethel's going to win this game, it's going to be from this Jinx getting fed, and that is not a great start for the side of Alpo.
Yep. and Nico as well picking up a kill, going up in CS2. So Valpo playing with 2 losing lanes here. Although you do have a kill in the jungle, Sejuani's still pretty close behind in the farm. So I think now Valpo's in a little bit of a rough spot to where you need to start making plays for your solo laners. Or, excuse me, not your solo laners. You need to start making plays for your mid and bot side. Here's another knockup as well. Alistar does catch out Braum, but here comes Super Bear coming in for the side. There's the flick. Alistar stuck in a little bit of a bad spot. Going to try and force Jinx off the dash and gets the stun, and Dreadful's going to trade one in return. We might have another solo kill in the top lane as well, but the knockup is going to trade 1 for 1, although, hey, 1 for 1 crashing under opponent's tower is always worth it. We will take that. Really nice engage for Anaya, taking a huge CS lead as well.
Yeah, misses the big bunch 4 or 5 minions of XP and gold. You know, the XP is just as important as the gold.
Yep.
Good dive there from Anaya. You know, the risk reward, you know, it worked out, so we don't have to worry about it. So
Yep.
She knows that champion very well and showing it off there. But Super Bear going to start up this dragon with Valpo's bot lane after Alistar respawning here. So Valpo does have tempo. Talia does have that ultimate up to rotate very quickly if need be. But it looks like Bethel's just going to give it up.
Yep. No, Bethel doesn't have the Sejuani here to play around it. You kind of just have to give. There's nothing really that you can do. You have the level advantage. A nice trade there from Jakimbo, taking out Nico a little bit here. But no, yeah, like you said, you talked about the top lane. Looking at that bot lane trade, it's the proactiveness that we were kind of looking for, right? We saw Sejuani take a lot of early prio there, get those Jinx, those 2 kills, but it's really up to Super Bear to kind of try and return at least a little bit of pressure, get Dreadful a little bit of space here playing in this lane, and that early kill will help him out. There's the flash in as well from Alistar going to roam mid. There's the ult from Nico. Nico gets jumped back, almost getting traded 1 for 1. All that's left is Alistar and Sejuani. Jakimbo's going to go down to Sejuani here. That's going to be another kill. He's playing just extremely far up. Although Super Bear was kind of in the area, it just wasn't fast enough to get there.
Yeah, there's no vision there, and another 3-man gank mid with the Alistar. You know, Bethel definitely has a game plan going into this, but there's no vision really for Valpo in that area. Then also, you know, maybe potential lack of communication, but we do see Steamroller come up here. Sejuani not really going to have too much kill prio.
Yep. This Alistar is just very comfortable leaving Jinx on this island. I don't think Valpo's punishing it enough. Obviously, you're going to send Alistar up on a lot of these roams, a lot of these ganks, not really respecting it, but if you send Ali up, that means that Jinx is alone in the bot lane, right?
Yeah.
So you always have to just be conscious kind of what plays you can make. Obviously, you can't beat the Alistar to the roam, but you can at least
Twitch
trade something
pops
for
Ghost
it.
here looking for a kill.
There's the ult as well, the knockaway W from Alistar though. The flash in from Dreadful, and the last auto is going to get that shutdown. And a really nice all-in there from Valpo. Although you blow all sums, it's worth it for the shutdown.
Yeah, huge 2v2 there.
Yeah, you deny Jinx this wave too. Push it under tower, you're able to get your CS back, and it's able to equalize this lane at least a tiny bit.
Yeah, surprised, you know, you don't see a flash or exhaust come out from Jinx there. So a little bit of miscalculation, you know. I didn't think Twitch was going to be able to get the kill there, but Dreadful, like you said, has been playing this Twitch and been wanting it. And working out there on that 2v2, he definitely knows that champion's limits, what it's able to do with that very aggressive, confident flash forward with the E execute and one more auto with his ult.
Yep. And now Jakimbo just looking to trade this mid lane a little bit here. You have Super Bear and Sejuani hovering in the area. This time Braum is there to meet it. Void Grub's second spawn is up now.
Yeah.
You have to be careful, obviously. You have 2 Void Grubs, 1 split. If you can just pick up the other 3, but here comes a quick gank on the bot side. There's the flash in. Does miss the stun, but it's not going to be any problem. Super Bear picks up that kill. Gonna clear a little bit of prio here as you do have Dragon coming up in these next 2 minutes. You're gonna set Jinx even further behind, which I like. You need to just keep playing to this bot side, keep shutting down Jinx, and I think you can really separate this game.
Being a Valpo fan, you love to see it.
Yep.
You know, Valpo realizing, okay, we need to do something about this bot lane, and both times and getting there again on respawn is just huge.
Oh, there's the flash in as well. The ult coming out from Nico, looking to get the stun. Jakimbo gets another stun, looking to just try and trade back, but it's not going to be enough. You saw, although you had Nico just kind of sitting on the wall, no vision on Sejuani means that she's just able to make that play.
Gets caught with flash down again. I mean, he's had this flash down in pretty much the entire game, just getting ganked on cooldown. So, yeah, I mean, that's Bethel's game plan going into it. Sedge probably 4 or 5 ganks mid. Alistar's been up there twice. So they're aware of that timer and they're keeping a close eye on it.
Yep.
And he was just, he wasn't trying to establish vision there in that push, and then he got punished for it. So
Yep.
bummer for Jakimbo, but are able to get the Void Grubs, and I think that brings us to 5.
Yeah. No, you got
That's
5,
big.
which is nice. Although you traded to kill mid, you did pick up a lot more prio around the map just because you have that permanent buff spawning now. Just a little bit of extra help taking down those towers, clearing up a little of the space, and we have the first rotation of the game already. You take 5 Void Grubs, send your mid laner bot side. There's Alistar looking for the flick back into the E, not going to be able to hit it, but the second Q hits, third Q hits, just chipping again. Alistar has to be careful. Jakimbo does walk up too far. Alistar does still have ult. Just have to be careful with that damage reduction. Trying to finish a kill on him can get really, really rough. There's the back from him. Sejuani is clearing this. Steamroller makes the walk down, looking to try and get a stun off.
Taking a look at the gold here, Valpo down a kill, but still up 500 gold here. So great job, getting those platings. Big CS lead in the top side. And mid, let's see, yeah, mid down about 500. Oh, up 8K in top lane. Poppy has missed a lot of waves here, having to recall with TP down. And XP as Ornn is also up a level. Looking at jungle, pretty much dead even there. And bot lane actually with 300 gold lead for Valpo. And able to get that second dragon. Valpo, these past 5 to 7 minutes have looked way better. Really evening out this game and now taking a lead with the 5 Void Grubs, 2 dragons, and with a slight gold lead.
Yeah, I can say that although, obviously there's a couple of more plays we could make, right? A little bit more optimization. I think Valpo, this is game 1, right? We're kind of just settling in. You have a new pick in the bot lane, you have a returning pick in the mid lane, so you're kind of just trying to feel out what your limits are, feel out again with the new season competitively. How do you feel with these kind of champs? How does your team want to play around it? Here's another trade from Anaya in the top side. Sejuani is hovering around the jungle, but I think you can just kind of all in this, holding the W there, looking for the dash in, not going to be able to hit it.
Yeah, Valpo with a couple sloppy plays there in the early game, but looking much more solid the past 7 minutes. And the title does say week 2 of the NECC, but this is actually their first game. They had a bye week, week 1. Awkward week to have a bye week, but
Yeah.
so kind of getting settled in with this spring semester season. Have had a few 3C law games, but still working out some of the kinks. But looking really solid these past 10 minutes. And this is a team that I think we're slightly favored against, but it's also a very good opponent at the same time. So I feel like this is a great matchup to have in the NECC for week 1. And a great matchup for them to kind of get on the board with playing some tough teams in C-Law. Yeah, and also a familiar opponent like we talked about. So probably, I'm sure our players were excited when they saw them on the schedule.
Oh, for sure. I know this game is definitely one of the more look forward to games we've had recently, especially playing CeeLo. But here's a quick engage as well. The flash or the ghost popped in the bot side, but the exhaust might be enough for Jinx to win and they're just gonna trade. That was a RuneScape fight. That was they both right clicked on each other, sat there with their abilities, and just waited.
With that exhaust that Jinx had, I feel like we're lucky going away with that with a 1-for-1. Probably favored to Jinx just because Twitch does have that shutdown. That was an interesting fight.
Yeah, that's what we call space grinding, right? Obviously, you have space gliding, which is when you're kiting really well. Space grinding is just not moving. Super is going to move to this top side here, hover it a little bit, but it looks like they're just going to try and go for this objective. You have so much prio on this top side with Anaya playing extremely well that if you want to make a play, as long as you have at least like 1 or 2 rotations up, I think you can. It looks like Braum and Super Bear will be going around trying to clear this vision.
Yeah, they should be starting up this rift right now.
Yep. You start this rift up now. Anaya has a lot of prio on this top side. Get another trade there, just a huge damage spike. Yep, and they're going to just start this objective up right now.
And as you know, we did see some pings for Bethel on the rift. They are setting up this dive on Talia in the bot lane. We got Sejuani and Alistar going down there. Plenty of tankiness to survive tower shots.
Jakimbo walks up a little bit here.
No, they're taking their time here on this dive.
Yeah, Jakimbo has to just flip this wave back, I think, if you want to go. Does flip the Jinx, though, and here comes Alistar. There's the flash getting away from the Q before the W can hit. Still going to get pushed back, trying to just clear this wave. But because of that pressure, they have 3 bot side. They're going to summon Rift Herald mid. Valpo's going to try and take this mid turret. And he missed the turret! No! Oh, I know it's your birthday, but come on, man. You got to hit the turret. I'm not going to cut you any slack. That is really rough, because now you're gonna lose this turret. You lose the chance to take this turret. There's the missed ult as well.
That is really unfortunate.
Yeah, the forced flash from the ult.
Maybe the iRacing team can give Super Bear some tips there.
we need drifting mechanics. That was terrible.
Really good job by Jakimbo to, they took so long on that dive, making sure he tried to clear the wave as much as possible, and good flash, 100% worth it. Phenomenal job not dying to that dive there. Allowing Valpo the time to get Rift Herald and, theoretically get the mid lane turret. I know it didn't happen, but great job by him there. And it looks like they're trying to set up this dive again.
And he might get the solo kill. The flash out just before that last tower shot does sidestep the W there. There's another 3 bot side, which is nice because that gives time for Valpo to reset, and they're going to have a lot of tempo going into this dragon, going to set it up. You see, Steamroll is already fighting for this vision.
Yeah, I think it's the 5th time Jakimbo has been 3v1 in this game, and he's starting to be able to build up strong enough to clear this wave, defend himself. So good to see from him. Has a lot of vision down there.
I'm sure he's having a lot of fun this game, constantly having like 5 people in his lane.
He's probably not too happy with Bethel's game plan.
I guarantee you, I'm going to walk out of this booth and just look at him. He's going to give me that disappointed head shake whenever he just has a game like this.
Yeah, and
it's always sad.
The great thing about this too is, you being on the roster, potential of you hopping in really at any time, being aware of kind of what their game plan is. Now, granted, you aren't the same ranked players as Jakimbo, so the plan might switch up. I'm not.
Yeah.
Plan might switch up, to be more bot lane focused, but seeing how these players play, I mean, that's got to be huge for you.
And I mean, here's another engage as well. The W going to be stopped by Jakimbo's R, trying to walk it back. They're focusing on this Jinx here, trying to just run it down. Alistar is going to force to pop the ult, run back, but Jinx falls. Super Bear is going to take that first kill, gets the reset, going to jump back in as well. Looking for the second one. Sejuani caught out, and Dreadful is going to pick up that kill as well. Another great turn. Nico staying to this mid tower, probably just going to try and crack it here, but
Alistar's got to be
immediately
careful.
Dashing in. There's the R as well, trying to dash up. Alistar R is down. Dreadful taking a couple of shots, going to pick up that kill, although Nico does take the tower for it. You lost 3 people on your team, and now they're just going to push and try to return this tower. Anaya, again, playing this island in the top side. Jakimbo just stayed, took that bot lane tower, and overall this is a great trade for Valpo.
Yo, and you got the gold, you got the kills on the right people here. Viego and Twitch, that's just what you like to see. I mean, Talia would be nice too, but these are hyper carry champions that can really take a game away.
Oh, a quick flash and W.
Yeah.
Hextech just using all the move
rocket
speed
belt
bonuses.
flash, that chase him down real quick.
Just trying to jump on him, finish it off, and it worked out. I mean, you get another pick on Jakimbo. Jakimbo, although with the nice ult there, Alistar jumps in just trying to stop him. Not going to be able to get it in time, but no, Jakimbo having a little bit of a hard time impacting this game. I feel like outside of the ult in that team fight, which was really nice, his main thing is kind of just what we call the faker taunt, where you pull like 3-4 people to come fight you while the rest of your team does stuff around the map.
Yeah, he is not having a fun game, but if I was in his same situation right now, he's keeping it somewhat even in CS, somewhat even in levels. I would probably have AFK'd at this point in the game if I were Jakimbo. So doing a great job of, still having damage, still staying in this game. But Valpo's in a really good spot here, still up 3K, up 3-0 in Dragons, and has that Void Grubs. Valpo looking really good.
Oh, and this might be a trade back. Yeah, there it is. Even the ult goes out too, gonna shut down the cooldown.
What surprises me, he's still able to win these 1v3s. He's able to 1v1 the Nico when he's 0-3 and she's 3-0. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how he does it. Like, where is this damage coming from?
People are underestimating the fact that Talia E clears wave as well. So when you get Talia E'd when you're attacking tower, that wave is gone. So if he hits a flip, The wave is killed. Everything else is done. All that's left is you getting hit under tower.
Yeah, definitely
Uh,
getting some help from the turret shots
yeah.
there, but
No, definitely.
Valpo's starting up Baron here with 21 minutes into the game. You
Makes
know,
sense.
one of the big talking points for this season as we see Jacimbo avoid the Sejuani is, I think we really want to start avoiding those like very typical 30-minute plus games for Valpo, and I feel like this is a game where they can really do it.
Yep.
You got Soul coming up soon here in a minute 30. You got your Baron. I really want to see Valpo kind of take this lead and run with it.
Yeah, and I think you have Twitch's. Twitch pops Ghost here. Might have just been a little bit of a panic flick. There's Jacimbo gonna throw the W off, try to zone out a little bit. Jinx has to just try and trade back in the Steamroller. Steamroller E going down. Alistar getting cornered off on this side. You still have Sejuani near, but the ult from Alistar gonna try and save, but the stun is gonna be just enough. Dreadful takes off that kill. Jinx is gonna trade one on the mid lane though. Looks like Viego just got caught out a tiny bit there. They are gonna double kill it in this bot side, but Nico's gonna walk up to this mid, try to hit it a little bit. Anaya and Poppy have just been trading blow for blow in this tower, but Anaya taking really, really great trades in this top lane.
Anaya has quietly absolutely decimated top lane, getting the first turret. 1-1-1 in lane, up a lot of XP, up a lot of CS, doing a really good job. Really huge on that XP for Ornn. The sooner you get to those levels, the sooner your team can get those item buffs. So doing a really great job quietly in the top lane. Haven't talked about her much, but doing a great job this game.
Yep. Excuse us, folks. Sorry about that.
Right back into it. We got Twitch with 7 kills, 500 gold shutdown.
Yep.
Yeah, 500. I had to lean in there to try and see.
No,
but Dreadful on this Twitch, what do you say?
They've been playing around it. I like that. This is a new pick, right? Obviously for the comp team, we played it a little bit of scrims, but when we talk about like a game like this is a first timer, and I'm just happy that Valpo's playing with the confidence around it. That was kind of what I was worried about, is that you pick the Twitch, and the team kind of doesn't trust you to play and take a lead like this. We're gonna fight for a little bit of vision here. There's Nico. Nico gets the root off, only gonna hit the Braum though. Braum's shielding off, trying to get a little bit of damage. Super Bear gets knocked back into the fight. Has the ult to get out. Nico hits the ult up, but only gonna get Braum. Super Bear does escape to the right. Jacimbo is gonna take the fight around the mid here. They're gonna look to try and continue this. Jacimbo really deep in the back, gets the stun off from Sejuani R, but gonna survive it. Braum jumps in the peel again. There's a double kill. Look here, he's back. Now he's popping off in these fights. He kind of had that really nice angle there. There's the flash in as well. Jinx is going to be able to dodge around it. Trying to get the E. Gets away from Super Bear's ult. Poppy does knock Dreadful back. Dreadful's just going to use this chance to back and recall a little bit. But honestly, I think, do you have 2 down here? You can rotate this straight to top side and take that. But it looks like there's a backline TP coming from Nico. Yeah, Nico's trying to
with
take
these
this
Baron recalls,
back.
they're going to be out of there.
Yeah, that was a little bit
Except
of a
Super
weird
Bear
TP.
still is in. Nope, Super Bear gets out as well. Soul coming up.
At least it wasn't the NECC TP. NECC's TP this last game in the EU was actually disgusting. The like 2 feet wide TP to a minion right next to him was awesome, but still a little bit worrisome there, because now you're kind of forced into this fight when you could have taken a little bit more prio in that side lane. Valpo immediately going to rotate all the way back to this dragon. They're now taking a lot of good choke points here. Looks like Nico may be looking to try and get over this wall, but no flash, no nothing. Valpo's just going to be able to shred this Drake. Does take Soul here. Steamroller looking for an engage. We'll start to try and follow out on this Poppy. There's the dump in. Poppy W is going to stop a dash, but it's not going to be enough. And now he picks up the first one. There's the E coming from Jacimbo, trying to just take Alistar in the backline. The Nico ult's going to hit up. Going to take it a little bit, but Dreadful survives it. Dreadful picks off 2. Jacimbo picks up 1. Super Bear picks up the other one. Jacimbo with the double kill, and that's going to be an ace. They're going to immediately ult to this wave in the mid, finish this game out, and that's going to be game 1 for Valpo in this NECC Week 2 series.
Yeah, good recognition with the Tlee ult, the TP running in there. I mean, this is going to be an easy end for them, especially with the 5 Void Grubs. So yeah, starting off the season strong. I almost said it wrong. But starting off strong, winning game 1 of this best of 3 set.
Yep. No, that's what we like to see, obviously. Take one more try. Pat the stats. There we go.
Yeah, and Jacimbo somehow finishes the game 6-3 and 7.
Yep.
Kind of out of nowhere.
We talked about it, but like, it was a little bit rough for him when he was sat in lane for all the times. But then, first couple team fights that he got in, such great impact. We saw his positioning really well, especially because how the team played around Dreadful, getting him early, it forced Bethel to at least focus on the Twitch, which
Yeah.
allowed him to kind of surprise people with the damage that he did.
Yeah, I think there are a couple miscues there in game one that can be cleaned up. In the mid lane, getting caught out a couple times without a flash, without vision. Bot lane, I think, lost that first initial fight. At some point, went down early, but able to win bot lane huge and with a new pick with the Twitch. So yeah, really good game for Bethel.
Yeah,
Or really good game
for
for
Valpo,
Valpo.
yeah,
Bethel
there we
also
go.
playing well in the first 15 minutes though. So
Yep. No, that's what we like to see. But we are going to take a quick break here in the caster's booth, and we will catch you guys at the start of game two of Valpo versus Bethel. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, unmuted here, ready to go for game two of Valpo versus Bethel. And we're immediately hopping in the draft here. Taking a look at the bands, taking a look at what Valpo wants to focus on. I think you just keep the same bands. Um, Obviously, game plan went pretty well last game, although you lost a little prio mid. Uh, Nothing you could really do there. You played around bot side, got Dreadful ahead, and it definitely allowed Justin to scale up. And then also just talking about the island that Anaya was left on. But no, now we're hopping into this ban here. Blue side taking off Jin and taking off the Misfortune here. BU looking for almost just gonna get rid of the Talia as well. I kind of like that pick, but here hopping in the booth here, you go ahead and introduce yourself to the squad just a little bit,
Oh,
Adam.
do you mean me?
Yeah.
Oh, this is too much of an honor. So, hi everyone, my name is Adam. I'm Monsieur. I am the backfill for mid and also the backfill for support. But enough about that. We got to take a look at what the bans are going. So what? Valpo banning with the Kaisa. I know they were talking about possibly using it, but and also in response to the Rakan. So what do you think we're gonna see here for what R1 or B1 pick?
Honestly, I think you keep the same I think you keep the same prio that you did last game when you take the B1 pick here. You can pick an ADC, but I think if you're gonna try and yeah, you flex the Maokai. If you're gonna try and take a winning bot side or at least a neutralizing bot side, big point is that you need to make them pick first. So Valpo taking a pretty strong flex here, obviously sending the Maokai top jungle or support. So it kind of puts BU in a situation to where they have to blind more than they have a counter pick for. And I really like it. Um, I think it's actually a pretty good option here, especially knowing that you're blue side.
And we'll see what Bethel responds with.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, just
Oh,
first
the
pick in the Ornn.
Orn pick.
Yeah. Most of our comp games, we definitely haven't seen a prio pick when it comes to top side being in R1, R2, like we have seen these last two games. But BU making sure that that matchup last game didn't happen again. I mean, Anaya playing so strong on it with the Hecarim. Okay. Hecarim really nice in the Maokai. I think that's great. So you shut down a top side, or excuse me, you shut down a jungle pick. But the issue is Maokai top in the Ornn is really good. That is one of his better winning matchups. So I'm excited to see how Valpo wants to pick around this jungle.
We'll have to see. We're going to see blue pick coming up soon.
Zach
So
is open.
will we see a return of the Zaki vengeance? Is what say. Oh, but we actually
Ooh, a
see the
more.
Mordekaiser going against the
So we
Orn.
are flexing the Maokai. Okay. That must be just like a personal preference thing. If Anaya doesn't want to take Maokai, no reason this early in the draft we should force her to take Maokai. Give her the Mordekaiser, which we've seen her just 1v9 games on. So I'm excited to see how that goes.
Well, it goes to be a 1v1 then a 1v8. So we'll see. Or
Yeah,
who
true,
knows? Who
true.
knows? We might actually be seeing a chance rare Mordekaiser jungle.
Yeah.
Oh, but we see the
Ooh, the
smolder come
Smolder
out.
flex. Okay. Valpo, other than the Mordekaiser, just picking champs that BU has to guess where they're going, because Jakimbo is not afraid to take this mid lane. Especially with how safe Smolder plays, right? I'd say with the E. Um, it's definitely way better when you know that Bethel is going to put three in your lane at the start of the game. BU finishing with the Aphelios. Okay. We're back to square one again like we had last game where we picked jungle, we picked top. Although you can still flex the Maokai, right? You're kind of looking for a bot lane play here. You have support and mid to counterpick around. BU leaving the Syndra ban to last pick. Although we haven't seen Syndra played much by Jakimbo this season, last season he kind of stomped around with it. So we'd mentioned that a little bit first game. It's nice to see, but I'm excited to see who BU wants to throw their second ban at.
I was going to say we have the Silas band, so just
Hmm.
making sure that all of these ultimates are actually pretty good. So
Yeah.
interesting to see about interesting just to make sure that the Valpo secures the ban for them
Ooh.
not being used against them, and they're looking right to the jungle to ban that Viego.
So they definitely expect Maokai support then. If they're looking to ban that, Valpo gets rid of the Melio, makes sense. You want to lengthen or excuse me, you want to shorten the enchanter pool to play around the Felios. You still have the Lulu open, you still have the Renata open even. So I'm excited to see what BU kind of pulls out of the bag here. So I've really only seen this support play a lot of engaged supports.
Well, we will be very interested. I'm just curious to see. I know we see the Aphelios coming up, and the Aphelios Milio was going to be scary, especially with the
Ooh.
Severum. But we see basically dual ADCs of Seta.
Yeah,
So
dual scaling. That's kind of what BU's aiming for here, I guess. You have a ton of range. I think if they expect the Smolder pick to go bot side, I actually really like this draft on the side of BU, but he's taking the words out of my mouth now with these drafts. The one thing you leave yourself open to is allowing Steamroller to play somebody engage heavy. If they pick the Blitz here, I really like the Blitz. Yeah, there we
there we
go.
go.
That's what I'm looking for. Um, Blitz into Senna is actually disgusting. It's
And we
so
see
hard.
it.
So it is Smolder mid. They are flexing it. They're gonna give
Oh,
him. I like the Varus more than the Twitch here. I like the Varus more than the Twitch. You have to take the range if you're gonna pick it.
and especially offers that good crowd control with the alts, especially
Yep.
in Dragon and new Baron pits. So kind
Yeah.
of a more utility arm, but Jacob is going to secure that Varus pick. So looks like we got an interesting match. Oh, and we see the
Ooh,
Cassiopeia coming from Bethel to counter the Smolder.
I
That'll be
really like
interesting to
that.
see that. That'll be interesting to see that grounded, just because it's not as effective
Hmm.
against ADC mids than it is against normal mages.
Yeah.
So interesting to see Cass as the last pick.
I'm really interested because it's like now you take Cassiopeia, who's great into kind of lower range champs, right? And Smolder is a champ that plays around his attack range. Um, Not exactly the longest in the world, right? And you can see that's the hardest part about laning with him is you get out pokes. So I'm excited to see how Cass kind of plays around this. I won't lie, this is a matchup that I'm not really familiar with, but if I had to take a pick, I'd say Cassiopeia takes the advantage in this one.
I
Um,
I would have to agree. And also, we're gonna have to see for that. We're gonna have to see in team fights. I think she quite honestly probably offers a better team fight advantage than Smolder, especially just because other than Blitz and if you have to burn a Maokai ult, Smolder's ult is really easy to dodge right now.
yeah.
So Hecarim into the Ornn. It's gonna be an interesting first team fight at level 6. So we're gonna have to see what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think these are some of the newest drafts we've seen out of both sides. I feel like I definitely didn't have the Ophelio Senna on my bingo sheet, but neither did I have Valpo pulling out the Blitzcrank right after it. But makes sense, right? Obviously, gonna flex the Smolder pretty early. You're up one game, right, as Valpo, so no reason to not try to throw something against the wall here. Take a couple of flex picks early in this game, be able to just kind of rock with it. So I'm excited to see what they do.
I'm excited, but do you think Valpo's gonna take that advantage that they have, especially with the Blitz support, and maybe go for an early invade? Or do you think we're gonna play it? Do you think they're gonna play it a bit safer?
I think honestly, you can take an early invade. I think it's a pretty good choice. Because the issue is obviously the weakest points of the team of BU right now is their early game, right?
Hmm.
Cass doesn't have the abilities level one, neither does Senna, neither does Aphelios, neither does Hecarim, right? Like you're playing against a BU team that really doesn't have much to offer a level one here
Hmm.
when you have a Valpo team that is unironically pretty strong level one, mainly just because of Blitz, right? Like
Hmm.
I could say the same thing and list the abilities out for like Varus and Smolder, but the issue is that you just need someone to start the engage, right? So I think it's great that you put Blitzcrank on that side, and I'm glad you mentioned that because Valpo should walk into this game and play as aggressive as they can. But no, I mean picked up game one, right? Obviously, this is Adam as well. Happy to have him in the booth here. Definitely give a little bit more insight into that mid lane, into that support lane. I'm excited to see. But as we just kind of switch over here, gonna try and hop into this draft a tiny bit, and we are going to take a slight break. Excuse me, as we let these drafts go, as we let the spectator delay go, and we will catch you guys at the start of the game to figure out their runes, figure out their summoner spells, and see what goes on. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen and MBs, for the start of our Gang 2 Valpo versus Bethel series. Valpo already taking a 1-0 start here, having a couple of pings. Yep, Valpo's going for the invade like you talked about. Immediately going to start this off. But as they take their walk there, take a look at a couple of summoner spells, take a couple of look at the runes. We have 3 fleet footworks this game, so you can kind of see what the rune taking is. But otherwise pretty basic, right? There's the flash and immediately forces the flash out of Senna as well. Flash for flash there. See, oh, whoa! Too many pings. I think they're waiting for Senna flash.
We'll take it though. I was about actually, you know what? Here, as we wait for this first minute, as everyone kind of gets to their lanes, what do you think would have been if the gank would have been ideal? Do you think it would have been better to get a kill on an early game or to try to burn another summoner spell off of like Aphelios or Senna?
I think just getting that kill. I think earning that first blood gold is so huge. And there's a couple of talking in chat here, just mentioning you can't spam the emote on Cassiopeia. Makes sense. Too bad Smolder can.
Oh, let's see. We got one flashes down on both sides. Quite honestly, though, better that what's with the hex flash is probably still worth it a lot more than just having no flash on Senna.
Yep. No, definitely, because now you still have the hex flash speed that you get from it, right? Combine that with the blitzcrank, there's no running away from him. It's the weakest, or it's the most unfun thing to run away from. But you're seeing here, you do have a little bit of issue, at least in this early game, when you don't have the pressure of just a flash or a level 2 having the knockup. That Senna just outranges you. So I think that BU's got to just play around kind of where that blitz is positioning. And if you can at least stay out of hook range or stay behind a minion or something, you're kind of free to just trade off.
Oh, nice little poke from Dreadful. I know we saw Smolder just a second ago hitting another Q. Oh, but it does look like we might be going in. All right, we got our first one.
Yep,
The ignite's out and the flash is out and a Q. Oh, and a double Q.
That's what we're talking about. That's first blood going to Valpo. Might look for 2 here, but probably not going to have enough. Super Bear taking 2 tower shots. Yep, going to look for the trade. No, and that's kind of the engage that we're talking about, right? I know Steamroller is a big proponent of if jungle Maokai is going to come to lane, you better flash level 3, right? Like you got to flash it now, flash for the W. It worked out there. You blow both sums out of, or you blow all sums out of the side of BU. You get the first kill, get it on Varus as well. You push that wave in, you set BU behind here, and I think getting Dreadful ahead in this game is going to be really a big win con for you.
Oh, especially just even looking, having four sums to 2 plus that kill, Dreadful's looking pretty solid. Especially going to probably be able to, as we have first dragon and Void Grubs coming up, probably being able to quite honestly just have duo bot or have rotate them to drag, rotate top and jungle, and there's only going to be one response from the Hecarim. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see what happens. I do expect there to be an interesting level. I do expect there to be an interesting fifth minute. Although we do see the Ornn is poking, but Anaya's not taking any of it as she's just healing and getting ready, looking positive on the trade, but also just a little bit extended right now. But I think she realizes that as she's about to drop the vision.
I think it's rough for BU's top side here because both games Anaya has had champions that she's very comfortable on. It's very apparent that she plays her limits pretty well, and being able to kind of take that prio top side. Although we've seen they've been on an island that whole first game and probably going to be on the second game as well. That prio is enough that Super Bear needs to just be able to walk over for these grubs. What you do have to worry about though is Cassiopeia does have the level advantage here. And you are getting shoved in mid lane. If Hecarim does walk up, it's a little bit... Yeah, there we go. You got to make a play towards mid, or you got to at least clear up a little bit of something to give Jakimbo this prio. Because you do have the prio top side, but Hecarim is also pathing that top as well. He's going to try and get the E out.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we're about to see probably Jakimbo hit that 25 stack mark, and look at that, probably right around 5 minutes.
Yep, no, Dreadful looking around. Steamroller kind of playing these walls, looking for something of a hook here, but you're Yeah, BU is just going to try and hide behind this wave. It's all you kind of can do in this matchup. It's a little bit rough for Senna, but this is a great trade for Jakimbo. He just has to be careful.
Oh.
If you do get Eat on here, it's a little bit rough. There's the knock-up, going to get dashed in. There's the Ghost from Cassiopeia as well, looking for the W under the tower. There's the flash from Jakimbo, looking for
All right,
something but the
trade,
tank.
but that
Trade
the
for
tower
one.
takes though.
Maokai might be able to take 2. No, just going to push the Hecarim back. That is both sums out of the mid laner for BU. Ghost sum out of Hecarim as well before these objectives, and you have TP up for Jakimbo. Being able to trade 1 for 1 there is like best case scenario.
Let alone trade 1 for 1 or trade 1 for 0 with 3 sums, so, or 1 for 1 with 3 sums. So Smolder with that TP, we're gonna see. Oh, it does look like that we do have chance, or Maokai going to Dragon, and seems like we might be seeing our first objective being taken.
Yep. No, I mean I think because right, obviously they fight that. You don't have the mid lane pressure. You go and immediately take that. You have a lot of pressure in this bot side, especially with not having sums up yet. The cleanse is just coming back up. That you make this play objective bot side. Hecarim's resetting, so he can't be on the Void Grubs. You have really, really good tempo to try and 2 objective this early game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and Anaya's got the heavy lead up in topside, and Ornn already burned their TP.
Yep.
So if Ornn's backing, Mordekaiser and Smolder and Maokai all have an easy roam to go get Void Grubs.
Yep. And now you kind of have to play it to where, like you said, not only an easy roam, but now if Anaya wants to, you can give a little bit of that topside pressure after this Void Grubs, make a TP play bot, and here's another engaged Steamroller, hits the Q as well, gonna force the flash out of Kennedy again, but looks like
the heal at the last second.
The heal and the root just being enough there. Now Aphelios gonna swap the guns over a little bit, and it looks like a pretty even trade for both sides, although you have to be careful. Blitzcrank Q is coming back up in like a couple of seconds here. Dreadful can hit just one more Q poke through this wave. I think you are at kill pressure for either. With this wave shoving in, you just have to be careful.
I was gonna say we also have the if Aphelios or Varus hits level 6 in this next like 20 or 30 seconds, that is probably going to determine what the tempo is looking like. I also would have liked to see the time that heal came back on Senna. It felt like it. I could have sworn that it looked like it was just about to that you had another second or two, and if there was just one more auto that went off, it would have been a difference between a kill there.
Yeah. We're seeing this mid lane, I think, biggest thing is that, oh, I might have just jinxed it. I might have just jinxed it. There's the ult as well, missing the ult from Cody. Cody just holding this wave here, looking for something. There's the back right in the face. I was about to say, Jakimbo playing with range really well, but that W proc missing is going to just trade a ton of damage. Obviously, early game, a lot of his combo damage comes from that W proc.
And we'll see. We do. Oh, we have some potential coming up here. Oh,
here's the
she
run
was
in,
not
the
expecting
speed,
it
the
with the
flash in as
flash
well.
and the
the W.
Q for the kill.
Yep.
And clearing up the rest of that wave with that Q1.
You saw Senna was hovering there, but I think there's no real way to outrun the flash Nimbus Blitzcrank with the overdrive. It's a little bit rough.
The only thing I think Bethel could have done there was probably just have Senna actually show herself in mid lane, just to at least try to attempt to scare Steamroller just a little bit. But we do see Ornn trying to take back his topside vision, but Naya quickly realizing that is not happening.
Yeah, it feels like every time I've looked kind of to this top side, it feels like, oh, Ornn has a really great wave position. But then I kind of look at the CS and it's like, oh, I think Anaya's just like suffocating him there. Like it's getting a little bit rough.
It is, but we have an
engage.
engage coming in, and we're gonna have to see what happens. There's a flash coming out from the Aphelios. Oh, the Aphelios using the ultimate, but it not connecting, but not really doing a lot of damage. And Valpa takes another kill and pops cleanse and flash again from the Aphelios.
Yeah, I think great engage from the Maokai there. It's a little bit rough, but here's another engage. All right, immediately Wing in on Hecarim. Hecarim going to be forced to ult to just try and get away. This is going to blow a pretty big team fight ult. Just try and get something here. Now Valpo has a little bit more pressure, obviously taking a little bit of vision around this Dragon Pit and just going to try and focus up. You still have a minute 40 on it. There's the ult coming out as well. Jakimbo turns around in time. There's the ult as well coming out. The E is just going to finish off the kill.
If that, if,
Here comes
yeah.
Steamroller. This speeding on down, looking for the E. Not going to be able to hit it, but does hit the Q. There's the knockback and this quick alley-oop to Dreadful's Q. Going to take that kill. Anaya taking a big trade up here in the top side, though. Just action across the board now for Valpo.
I was gonna say, let's see. Anaya still has their potions, so quite honestly, they could probably do another round of combo, engage an alt, and probably. Never mind, they had already ulted earlier, so
I think,
forget I even
yeah,
said that.
if you do have ult here, you have the HP like stacking advantage that you get from ult to win that fight. But I think without ult, it becomes a little bit rough, especially knowing that Ornn has full combo up.
And we see that we have about 50 seconds left for drag. So after this played, after this played in wave clear, I would not be surprised if they take a backspin the gold and get ready to reset for this upcoming Hex Tech Dragon. So we had Hex and Infernal. We got the OGs and we got Chemtech. What slow do you think would be interesting to see here, Blake?
Honestly, I always love Hextech. I always love the ability haste from Hextech. I think it's the best thing right now for this team, especially considering we have a lot of spellcasters, spell weavers, right? Anything that can kind of get you that. And there's the Q in as well. The knock.
Oh, the flash.
Yeah, a couple of shots. There's another Q as well. Ornn just can't walk up into this wave, I feel like. It's a really rough matchup, and I mean, you give Anaya a counter pick by picking this top early so fast due to our flexes, right? And it's kind of best case scenario for you. Looking for the Q, not going to be able to hit it, and they are 4-stacking this. Alright, Valpo has to be careful. You don't have any vision over this. Oh, never mind. They just split it. Aphelios just clearing this vision over here. Super Bear looking for something. You have to be careful. You might get hit by the Hecarim. Hecarim looking for the engage. There's the W.
Oh, but that hook misses everyone. Oh, and that ultimate. Oh, but the ultimate from Jakimbo comes in. Oh, but the Senna ult to try to keep the Aphelios alive, but it's not enough. We see a quick heal from
a couple
Senna.
of shots. There's the ult from Dreadful as well. Picks up the double kill, looking to turn this into a triple. Jakimbo playing to the backside as well. The W going off. Gets the flash over the wall. Still has Q coming up on cooldown here. Hits the E. Not going to be enough. But
there's a triple kill basically, and with that, a free dragon.
Yep. And Valpo taking a really commanding lead here, 12 minutes, right? Obviously, we're sitting at around a 5k gold lead. It's what you want to look for. 5k gold lead, early objective lead as well. You have 3 grubs. Grubs are coming up, but you have to beat them in a minute. Minute 30, excuse me. So if you want to make a play for them, you got to play now, and it looks like they will try to, as Steamroller is pathing up with Maokai.
Oh, this is turning into being a very positive game for Valpo, especially early game. But we also know that Bethel's comp is not afraid to go for a little bit, especially getting those Senna stacks. She become a monster really quickly, especially in some good team fights. But she hasn't had really much of an ability to. Every time that she's tried to engage, she's had to disengage pretty quickly. So I'd be surprised to see. Be surprised to see her stack count, but we also see Hecarim clearing his jungle. So we'll see. Are we gonna see another little team fight towards top side?
Yep. There's a couple of shots. Anaya, you have to be careful. You do go with the Hollow Radiance as the first item for Ornn, so it is a big tank into Anaya, but go with the Riftmaker first, right? Just rushing it immediately. Get that health, get that Omnivamp, one of the best items to just go start off, and probably going to go either Rylai's or Liandry's as that second item, get that HP stack.
And obviously because Malkoy took grubs, we got red side taking Hextech, and we got Cloud Soul. This could be a very interesting game for Hecarim. I'm pretty sure he's pretty happy to see this soul.
Yeah, no, definitely. Hecarim, that's kind of best case scenario for him, but you did give 6 Void Grubs, right? So it's kind of questionable to see what you wanted to prioritize there. I know you did have bot side backing, but Valpo has so much tower taking potential now, especially with how this top lane is going. Anaya gonna be able to get something here, forcing the back off. No TP on Ornn either. Having the 6 Void Grubs, we're probably gonna see like 2 plates taken.
I was gonna say, I think
I have an engage mid here.
Or Anaya is just gonna decide to just take basically 2/3 of that tower and let the DOT do a little bit rest. Ashley's gonna start proxying.
Yeah, she just walks up and fights Ornn now. All the waves that you can make Ornn miss under this tower are huge. You just have to make sure you don't take too big of a trade. You do know Hecarim is bot side here off of the vision. There's a pull.
Oh, but that hook, well. And that's all it needed.
Yep, Dreadful bursts it down. They are going to have to walk back, though. Hecarim is walking up. No Ghost. Gets the ult off as well. Ornn Looking for the knockup, just has to get the W off. Anaya does win the 1v1, I think that just shuts him out of the lane now. You proxied, you won the 1v1 in the wave, you take first tower as well. This game is over for Ornn, and I think it's
And with the Aphelios missing,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
Aphelios
surprised if we
ult
saw yet
missing
another
out.
double kill on bot side.
I think they were looking for a play with Hecarim. Hecarim having ult and ghost up. If he does hit the slow from Purple Gun ult, it's a little bit rough, but now here's the ult over the middle as well. Kimbo throwing it off, but it's not going to be enough. The root is just enough. Super Bear is going to walk around to the side. They are going to maybe try and crack this tower if Senna doesn't clear fast enough. Jakimbo will try and stay. Yep, there's the pull. Not going to be able to hit it, but they're so far zoned off this tower. Dreadful can kind of just free hit this here.
Let's see, looking here. So I was gonna say,
Yeah, here's the dive.
yeah, just watching the Aphelios do no damage, and the Hex Splash comes out,
Steamroller.
and the
Yep,
flash
there's
from
the
Aphelios,
pull.
but it just wasn't enough.
Dreadful going with the lethality build this game, just going for extreme hyperscaling, right? I like the on-hit build, but I get when you're this fed, you kind of want to just melt people from off the map, especially making plays off of Steamroller's pooks. You don't really need to put yourself in auto range to make a play with that, so I'm okay with that.
And especially just see it as Dreadful's respecting their lead, but also not. Also, you should know by now anything can happen in the league. So might as well do damage while being safe. But it does seem like Anaya is gonna start building towards that Leandries as you and I were kind of talking off mics a second ago. Just that freedom of doing so much damage, especially to a tank buster. As soon as Anaya has her second, or probably as soon as Anaya has her second item online, I'd be really interested to see the next team fight, which does look like it's probably going to be around that Cloud Soul.
Yep.
I think Valpo obviously has a very easy time. We'll have a very easy time for it, but also we're going to start hitting level.
As well.
Get
Does hit the
level.
sidestep, but there's the ult as well. Going to be able to dodge Ornn ult by being in the portal, but I think Cass is able to kind of kite this out. Anaya with a great flash over the wall, and Cody
They weren't
misses
expecting
the flash.
They weren't
Dreadful gonna be able to
expecting-
pick it up. Yep.
They weren't
It
expecting
might
the
be a
triple
double kill
room
here. There's the
Oh,
almost
so
reaching.
close.
Not going to be able to hit it. No, a great flash from Anaya and a little bit of a misplay from Cassiopeia. Not going to be able to match that flash. And that's going to get her out of that fight. And now you are healing so much. Mordekaiser hit a couple of dances there. There's the dash in as well. You have 3 over the wall. There's the root jumping
You got
in.
4
There's another
there.
knockup and a quick snipe from Dreadful.
And
It's
or
going
it's
to finish it off.
gone.
Yep, now they're going to finish this tower. Dreadful looking for the W. Gets the shot, but the Senna shield
Oh, but
almost
the
saving, but there's the
Q.
Yep. I think honestly, we gotta check this out. I gotta see how many stacks this man has right now. What is it? Yeah,
180.
180.
Here,
Makes
let's. I'm curious also how many stacks is the Senna struggling? The Senna got
Honestly, we gotta see, because I think it's
30. Oh.
yeah, 30 stacks. That's fine. That's fine. A little bit rough though, honestly. 30 stacks, 18 minutes is not the best game you can rock with. But no, Valpo's just playing extremely strong. Here comes Steamroller in the mid lane. The immediate speed up gets the flash out from Senna. And it looks like the rest of the team's going to try and reconvene here. Maokai ult coming out. There's the flash in. Hecarim tried to ghost away, but it's not going to be enough. Dreadful picks up that kill. And now they're going to steamroll this right into another drag. But
And I don't understand what that
jumped over the wall. There's another flash from Super Bear. I don't even think you needed the flash there.
I
but-
know. I was gonna say you just keep that. You just keep
Yeah.
that flash. That was a little bit of just aggressive thinking, but we got a free Valpo's got a free Cloud Dragon, and we do have Baron coming up
I'm
probably
with
a
it.
minute
Oh,
afterwards.
here's Steamroller. He's waiting for the flank. Does it hit the flank?
Oh.
Successfully. Gets the pull off the cross.
Oh
Is going to
no,
prop
but it's not
It's going to take
enough.
that kill. Stoney now working on the sideline. Jakimbo flashes away into the Cassiopeia, able to pick up that kill, but here comes Ornol. Ornol hits the slow, going to get the knock up. Tohi looking for something, but there's the flash
Oh, but
from the side of
Dreadful comes in.
Picks up that
Oh, but
kill.
a shutdown on
Another
the
ult as
Ornn.
well. Going to be able to take a couple of shots. Ornn gets a little bit of gold here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Hecarim does ghost in. Going to dash in, try to use the speed. There's the ult as well, trying to focus on Dreadful. Dreadful just trying to kite around here. If this shutdown does go down, it's a little
Oh, the
bit rough.
Dreadful, the shutdown does happen.
That's 1,000k going to Hecarim. Hecarim not going to have to walk around this side. Super Bear trying to chase him around, but he's just so fast. Gets the healing from Senna. He's just going to dash it back. With the Cloud Soul like map, it's really rough, but we're seeing, obviously, it felt like a 4v5 all that fight. It was because Anaya was taking the whole of the bot side here. So now going to be able to push this to tier 3, get a ton of gold in their back pocket, hopefully get a back off here pretty safely.
And especially in getting that 700 gold shutdown from the tower really did make up for the 2K gold from both the Jakimbo and the Dreadful shutdowns.
Mhm.
We will have to see though. We do now just see that Or just got an extra 1,000 gold, making him pretty bit more tanky. And Hecarim hopefully hope is getting online now, but we'll see. We see the Herald dropping topside. What is
There's
Valpo
a
gonna
shot, but here
do?
comes Steamroller again. I mean, this is a broken record at this point. Steamroller coming in with the speed, a nice Cassiopeia ult, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Super Bear hits the W, hits the Q back. The Ceres proc stays up, but it's not going to be enough. That's going to finish it off. Another kill in Jakimbo's pocket, another Baron play here. And honestly, if I'm Valpo, unless you have item right now, you just go take this mid lane.
You
You
have
immediately
to.
have to make a play here. And I is sitting in bush waiting for a little bit of defense, but I don't think that Hecarim is going to make a play over here.
I don't think so, and especially you knew that Felios and Sen were trying to clear bot side. Quite honestly, if I were them, I would have just pushed. I would have just pushed in. I would have just pushed in on blue turret at the bottom because you know you're not going to take a 4v5, especially with how fed Valpo is. But Anaya is
Here's
holding her
Anaya
own
taking the
against
1v4.
4, but we see the
Hey,
Jakimbo
there's the
all
snipe.
picking off a kill.
Yeah, Maokai's looking to ult up and follow it as well. Steamroller Q not going to be able to hit on the Aphelios. Aphelios green blue guns, but the Super Bear follows over the wall.
That was
Another
a-
snipe from
but
Jakimbo
we see-
and Dreadful. Ton of damage. Super Bear getting chunked out a little bit here over this wall, getting grounded as well. There's the ult from Aphelios, going to finish it off. A couple of question mark pings going out, but now
Yeah.
Dreadful taking this shot. Excuse us, folks. Sorry about that. Running into a little bit of an error there. All right, we are back online. There we go. Sorry about that. But no, yeah, you have Baron buff. You're taking a couple of shots. Although you did lose Super Baron and Anaya, both those deaths were at least useful for Valpo being able to push this. But now, I mean, you're sitting at a 14k gold lead. There's nothing. You should just literally 4-man, 5-man this mid and finish this game.
There's no reason not to.
Yeah, there's nothing the other team can do.
Jakimbo alone is an item up, and that item is a tank item, or
Yep.
Iceborne Gauntlet, really making sure that he's able to move and maneuver in ways that he's going to be able to keep getting his autos and his Q off. And as we saw in that tower fight, he's already at Q2. Oh, but Senna going for the quick poke.
Yeah, here comes Dreadful immediately popping the Gneomus, trying to just speed up. Oh my goodness,
Oh,
we are a
it's
track race over here.
disgusting.
Both teams just using all their move speed buffs. Gonna be able to hit the pull from Steamroller. And immediately take that kill. Here comes the dash in as well on the bot side. Gonna try and trade this kill. Hecarim taking that blue buff there for the whole team. Now it's a 2v1 this bot side. Anaya does have ult up. Gonna maybe try and look to pop it. There's the flash as well. Trying to dodge the Ornn. Gets the Death Realm off. Now gonna try and pull.
There
Gets the
we
Q off. Gets the kill on
go.
Hecarim. Gonna try and turn this onto an Ornn as well. We have another engage on the top side as well.
And then Ignite
Ignite
actually
burning
is the
it
one
down.
that kills there.
Yep. Gonna finish it off. I think with both of them topside, although they didn't get the kill on Ornn, Anaya did enough damage. Cassiopeia is just gonna look to try and finish something, get something on the board here.
Get
Gets the
some
kill,
semblance
but
of
the hold,
gold.
the hold base is just being sheeged already by the side
But
of
it's-
Valpo.
it's
All
not
you have
enough.
is one drag left.
Yeah,
Yep, Steamroller hits the knock up. There's a dash in as well. Super Rare, try not to die to tower, please. He will
No,
go down
he's
here.
gonna
There's
he's
the
gonna
ult.
get hit by that Senna.
But there's the execute, couple of shots. All that's left is it's Ornn versus Senna versus the 3 and Steamroller with 1 health. But all they have to do is hit this turret here. There's the ult coming out from Smolder as well. Dreadful pulling to the side. Jakimbo,
Oh.
Dreadful trying to just kite this out. Dreadful picks up one.
Oh, but
Smolder
this-
picks up the second one. Now they're going to try and fly onto this. The flash.
Oh, but the
gets
flash
double
W.
kill. Now Dreadful getting the shot.
the
Aphelios
ult.
misses the ult, and that's going to be game. They are able to 3v5 the space here. Gonna finish this game off. GG in a really, really clean game coming from Valpo to finish off this series with a 2-0 win. I mean, big takeaways from that game. What do you think?
Definitely Valpo, I think, really understood the fact that their macro game really seemed to be on point. As soon as they realized that they had tempo, they really took advantage of it and realized when to even hold back a bit. Really, especially seeing that Smolder Iceborne Gauntlet third item, just realizing that he knew that the best option was to stay safe and just keep getting stacks, and it was really evident as soon as he hit that 225 towards that last kind of team fight, if you even want to call it that. But it'll be very interesting to see. I know Valpo needed some kind of much needed bit of a morale boost after some kind of tough games these past few weeks. So I'm hoping that this gives the pep and the step that Valpo needs to really to have a really interesting next few really interesting games. What did you think, Blake?
No, definitely. I think we talked about game one, how this was definitely more of a morale boost game if they do end up winning this here. Not only just for like the team in general, but for specifically our bot side. And having our bot side play really, really well those past two games. Obviously, first game got the new pick going off. Twitch having a great game, and then second game being able to go back to one of Steamroller's favorite picks, and having a lot of impact there, especially into a Senna lane. I think it's just a really, really great time to watch Valpo right now. I think this is going to be a great season for us, and this game kind of set the tone. But I want to thank you guys for all the support. Thank you for all the likes, all the follows, all the watches. And I was your host, Dikembe. This was my co-host.
Monsieur, and what? We'll see you
Yep.
guys later.
Yeah, we'll see you guys hopefully next stream, which would be tomorrow as well. It's an Overwatch stream starting at 7 o'clock if I'm not corrected. If not 7, then 6. So we will see you guys then.